So your partner just complained about something that you do. And as soon as you heard it, you realize that it's exactly the same thing that your partner does themselves. And you find it really irritating that they are the one complaining about it. This is inspired from a recent client of mine. Let's call them Seema and Tyler. And Seema was talking about how, Tyler complained that when they are having an argument, Seema tends to get really loud and like really loud and emotional. And Seema heard that and she was immediately taken back to a week before where they were having an argument and Tyler was the one that got loud. And how Seema had to close the windows because it was just getting into a really loud argument. And she was just really irritated. So it's very relatable. A lot of us experience that, and a lot of us make a very common mistake in that moment when that happens. And I do that sometimes myself, and Seema did as well. That as soon as Tyler said that, um, Seema went, "What about the time when you did that?" And lo and behold, they're suddenly both triggered. Fighting complaint with a complaint, it sets off a chain reaction um, of stress, of arguments, and say goodbye to the next 30 minutes or even the whole day. There's no limit to how much you can end up triggering yourself. And so many couples, including the best ones, often get stuck in such stalemates. So today in this video I'll talk about this hugely common stalemate and the high amount of stress that so many couples find themselves in. And I will also share a 3-step strategy on how you and your partner can rescue yourself out of the situation the next time it happens. My name is Tapas, and I'm a relationship therapist in training. I share these tips and lessons based on everything that I'm learning from my teachers and everything that I learned from my practice clients and also from my own experience and how I see these strategies apply to my own situation over and over again successfully. So, your partner just complained about this thing that you realize they did themselves last week or even yesterday. And it feels so unfair. It feels like injustice. And you are filled up with anger. I get it. It's almost like rubbing salt in your wound. This feeling of injustice that you feel is higher the more intimate your relationship is. If somebody else on the street pointed something else out like this, or someone at work did that who you're not really close to, you'd be like, whatever, I don't have time for this. But when your partner does this, it's so much more. The stakes are so much higher. You know, you how can you get away with something like that? We speak to each other every day, and we have to find another way out of this. This won't work. You can't just get away with complaining like this. So I get it. And the second reason it feels so unjust is because when you felt it last week, when your partner was doing it, you didn't get a chance to raise your issue. You missed your window to raise it. And you've been nursing this wound. You've been holding this wound within you for so long. And now they get to complain about it. So, missing this window of raising this issue, or even if you raised this issue, you didn't really get the understanding that you think you deserved. And all this really compounds and forces you to react in that moment. So, here are the first steps to avoid getting into a spiral here. So, step number one, resist the urge to react. I know it sounds hard, but there's a way you can train the muscle to do so. So, think about an idol of yours from history who fought against injustice. Maybe Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi, and how they fought against injustice. Every time something bad would happen, or every time they felt like they were being oppressed, or a situation was unjust to them, they would not react immediately. And they would not react in the same way that the other party was reacting in. They would always hold themselves back a little bit and they would observe and they would bite their tongue. And this is something that you can draw inspiration from in this moment. So, write down how the scenario could play out for you and write down how you would like to react. And just the exercise of writing it down goes a long way in training this muscle. Step number two, this painful moment that you're experiencing right now hides an opportunity. So see the opportunity in this moment. What could be an opportunity? Your partner is bringing up a wound, they're complaining about something that they're upset by, and it brings up something that you were upset by yourself. So what's the opportunity? The opportunity is that every constructive move that you make right now, you will be resolving your own wound a little bit. Two birds with one stone. We'll get to what that opportunity looks like. But for now, just focus on, when your partner is bringing up this complaint, focus on helping them feel a little heard, a little understood. Say something like, I get it, I raise my voice and it's scary for you. I get it. I get why you would feel stressed out yourself, why you'd feel a little bit scared. And so try to help them feel a little understood. Every constructive move that you make right now, every step that you take to diffuse the situation or to help your partner feel understood, you are setting a template for how you'd like to be heard by your partner. You are giving them a message and they are receiving it, whether it may come across like that or not. But if your partner successfully feels heard and understood by you, they will subconsciously learn what just happened. So you are being a captain of this ship in a storm right now, while your co captain is too triggered to think clearly. So, this is what you're doing. This is what the opportunity is. The opportunity is that you're creating a template for how you'd like to be treated and like to be heard by your partner. Third step, after ensuring that your partner feels heard and feels understood, and they're a little bit calmer, ask for their permission, ask for their time, and ask if you can talk about something similar that happened with you. Don't do that right after this issue. Maybe, go to a moment where you're both calm and you're both having fun and ask them if you can talk about something similar that happened with you. My partner Steph and I have been scheduling these conversations in our calendars. We're both very busy. We work a lot with our calendars, and scheduling these conversations has helped us hugely. It ensures that our needs and our unresolved issues will get resolved in a future time. It provides a little bit of an assurance that our needs will be met. And, this allows us to get on with our life. This allows us to even get on with other discussions, talking about what to cook or talking about what to gift this friend of ours whose birthday is coming. While my issue is still being unaddressed, because I know deep in my heart that, on Friday we'll talk about it and it'll be fine. So when you ask for this permission, when you set up this discussion in future, you are giving yourself a little bit of an assurance. So be proactive and ensure that you don't feel the sense of injustice in future. So to summarize, when your partner brings up an issue that you have been triggered by in the past yourself, resist the urge to react in that moment. Hold your tongue. Think about what your relational integrity is and practice in advance. Think about your idols who have fought against injustice in the past. Think about what they would do and write it down and plan ahead for how you'd like to react in this moment. Second step, look for the opportunity in this moment. Every time every time you act out of relational integrity, every time you help your partner feel understood and heard in this moment and don't bring up your own issue, you are creating a template for how you would like to be heard, how you would like to be understood by your partner the next time it happens. And after ensuring that your partner feels heard and understood and calm, ask for their permission, ask for a time to bring up your own issue, a very similar issue at a future point in time. Schedule this conversation and calendar if you need to. Be proactive and ensure that you don't feel injustice the next time something like this happens. Now, this is obviously a set of principles. They may not apply, these three steps may not apply exactly like that to every situation because every relationship is different. So, if you and your partner get stuck in such stalemates often, don't be shy to get help. Think about how you'd like help. Think about whether you'd like to book a 30-minute call with me. And let's talk about what your stalemate looks like. And let's talk about what your three steps would look like. You know, every time you get help from someone else, from a third party who would understand the situation, who is expert at these things, you'll accelerate your healing. And you don't have to keep suffering, because if you keep getting stuck like this, it just gets worse. And you may find yourself in worse situations than you needed to be in. So get help every time when you are in such situations and it's happening over and over again. Get help from an expert. Be proactive about this. You'll feel better, and your partner will feel better, and you'll grow together. Share it with someone who struggles a lot with this situation, struggles a lot with the stalemates, and could use some help. And share your thoughts, questions, comments in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.